Okay, let's talk about something real. Have you ever wondered why saving that first $1,000 feels like an impossible task, but then you see other people just building wealth like it's easy? Well, I'm going to let you in on a secret. It's not about being better with money. It's all about psychology, and we're about to unpack it.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Climbing the world's tallest mountain in flip-flops? Yeah, that's pretty much what it feels like when you're starting with nothing. But that second part, that's the magic. That's the promise. The path actually gets easier. Way, way easier.
And hey, if you're nodding along thinking, yep, that's me, you're in good company. This is a super common feeling. So the big question we're digging into here is, why? What is actually going on inside our brains that makes that first goal feel so darn hard to reach?
So yeah, that feeling, that Everest in flip-flops phase, that's where our journey begins. It's that tough initial grind where every penny you save feels like a huge sacrifice, and that goal just seems miles and miles away.
But here's the thing, and this is so important. Struggling with this is not a personal failure. Seriously, it doesn't mean you're bad with money. It's actually because your brain has this sneaky, ancient wiring that is actively working against your long-term goals. And here it is. This is the hidden enemy we're all up against. It's a fancy term called temporal discounting. But all it really means is that your brain is hardwired to want good stuff right now, not later. A small, instant pleasure feels way more valuable than some huge reward way off in the distant future. Let's make this super clear. Imagine this choice. You can have a really nice $50 dinner out tonight. Or you can put that same $50 towards a $1,000 goal that's 6 months away. Now, your logical mind knows saving is the quote-unquote smart move. But your brain, it sees that tasty, immediate reward and just screams, "Give me that one!" And this chart, this shows you exactly what that battle looks like inside your head. It's not a fair fight. To your brain, that dinner tonight feels real, it's tangible, and it has this incredibly high value. But that future $1,000? It's abstract, it's far away, and honestly, it just feels less valuable in the moment. That is the bias you are fighting. But then, something amazing happens. You push through. You fight that bias. You make a few of those tough choices, and you finally do it. You reach that first summit. This number right here, $1,000. Let me tell you, hitting this goal is about so much more than just the money. This is your proof. It's the cold, hard evidence that you can beat your brain's old programming. It's a huge psychological win that completely changes the game. And that brings us to the absolute core of this whole thing. Getting that first grand in the bank doesn't just change your balance, it actually changes you. It triggers what we call an identity shift. Just listen to the power in these two statements. Before, you were trying. It's something you were attempting to do. But after you hit that goal, the words change. It becomes, "I am a saver." See that? It's not just an action anymore. It becomes part of who you are. And that shift is everything. So how does having this new identity make things easier? Well, now every single choice about money gets filtered through this new self-perception. You start asking yourself, maybe without even realizing it, what would a saver do here? It becomes your brain's new default setting. And boom, this is the result. Just look at how the perceived effort completely nosedives. Saving the next $10,000 doesn't feel like another Everest climb. Why? Because you're not a tourist in flip-flops anymore. You're now a seasoned climber. You know the route, and more importantly, you know you belong on that mountain. So let's just recap the whole path real quick. We start with this massive challenge, right? And it's all because our brain wants instant gratification. But then we hit that $1,000 turning point that transforms our identity into a saver. And the result? The rest of the journey gets so much easier. So if you take one thing away today, let it be this. When you're in the trenches, struggling to save those first few $100, remember what you're really building. You're not just stacking up cash. You are literally forging a new identity for yourself, $1 at a time. Look, that first summit, that identity-changing moment, it's waiting for you. So the only real question left is a personal one for you to think about. What's the very next step you're going to take to start that climb?